Never remember the name of the group. And it's funny he called Total Control because he always had total control of everything, and he, just
So it fit well for him.
fit well for him. Never remember the name of the group.
Never remembered the name.
And it's funny he called Total Control because he always had total control of everything, and he, just
So it fit well for him.
fit well for him. So Greg was a guy that had the pipes. He could really, really, really sing.
And that's why I went to the piano.
Uh-huh.
Greg had the vocals. He was a big chubby dude, and my mother made him sing. He's the lead singer in our Beulah Baptist Church, little church. That's why we just, as kids, this music was just all about us. So she made him sing. And I'm like, I can't sing like that, so I just geared toward the piano. Yeah, but yeah, he had the vocals.
And with that, Bernard, I believe at the time, we were really young. I think Bernard was about 10 or 11. We were like 6, 7, 8. And Bernard had a little bit of craftiness in playing the piano. He could play some things. So most of us really weren't very proficient with playing any musical instruments other than our voice. And then it was like we'd start to sing a song, and the music would be like, bump, ba-ba-dum, bump, ba-dum, bump. That was our musical background, what I'm singing right now. Bump, ba-ba-dum, bump. We had no guitars or anything. And I think Bernard may have figured it out on the piano, plucked some notes out. And then what happened was Craig, the host of this show, had to play a beat with it. And, his drum was a chair. It was like he gapped his legs open and played right on the edge of the chair.
Yeah, man.
And he would be going in full throttle too. He was hitting crescendos, hitting accents, licks, and I'm like, God. I was like.
It's funny because I would be on the tables, like I was playing the drums on the table.
Yeah.
I would just love
the fist, hand, fingertip thing.
Exactly.
And it was like, that was our percussionist. So we had a full on group. I don't think at the time, I don't think we had any dance moves to go with anything, but we just created this song. And I'm trying to think, if I'm not mistaken, this is a long time ago. It's called You Got to Keep On Moving and Grooving or something like that.
Okay.
Saw this girl
the only
walking
one I
down.
remember is Shake It Up. That's the only song I remember is Shake It Up.
You remember Shake It Up?
I remember that one.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Okay.
that's the one we performed.
Shake It Up, yeah. Shake It Up.
But
boom,
let me ask you
boom.
this.
Yeah.
So I know that we were introduced to music at a very early age from our mother by putting us in church and then making us be in the choir. So we just had to sing. Now my mother, she had a singing group. So singing was just a part of our family. We used to watch rehearsals all the time with my family, et cetera, et cetera. So naturally, she put us in church. We were in the choir, blah, blah, blah. I know what influenced your music career, but tell us a little about how did you guys get started? You and your brother get started in music.
Well, sort of like you. Our father had a background in music. He was the band director at Scott High School. At the time, he was the band director at Edward Dixon.
Let's give a round of applause out to
Yeah, Daddy.
Granddaddy.
Bulldogs in the house, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So he was, at the time that I'm speaking, I believe he was the band director at Robinson. Maybe no. Maybe he was at Scott when we met. So he was a band director at Robinson Junior High School at the time. That was the name of Robinson Junior High School. And I was always surrounded by music because he taught music. He was a band director. He was an instrumental music teacher. And, he made us take piano lessons when we were little. So my brother was the one who read the music. I was the one to listen to him read the music so I could play my song. I was, I eventually did learn how to read music, but I was sort of an ear player. Right. And that all, again, was spawned from our father's being a instrumental music teacher and a vocal teacher as well. Right. He used to teach choirs, all around the city and in Perrysburg as well.
And so that introduction that your father gave to you guys, today, what is that transpired into today? What are you doing today?
Well, from all of that experience and all of that, just being in that complete total bliss of having music all around me and in my blood, in my bones, in my veins, created a performing arts to academics based program called Mystery Music, which is deemed a one-stop shop for performing arts programs for grades 3 through grades 12. Our quest is to promote academic and social success through the performing arts. What we offer are 5 musical mysteries, which include drumline, step team, pitch instrument training, vocal performance, and theatrical etiquette training. And drumline, which actually we created a company drumline and a company step team and a company vocal performance team based on my son. And I don't know if he can even remember how it started, but I'm going to see.
Well, that
He
was
started
my
that.
next question, because from dad to son, I was going to ask, how are you incorporating music into your life?
So what happens is, I guess I can't say it's something that was always given to me, because I kind of grew up around it. So naturally, I guess wherever you grow up, you kind of like mold yourself around whatever you're growing up in. So I kind of grew up with music, but I guess what inspired me is just seeing how well kids respond to my dad and how he saw kids respond to his dad. And I just kind of figured, like, once I started doing it and actually realized I was good at it, it became a passion. So I really enjoy, seeing the kids like gravitate towards my energy and seeing what they have going on. Didn't it go? Is that you? So I guess just like seeing how kids gravitate towards my energy is like what makes me real passionate about it. And as far as a company goes, we were really starting to get me incorporated in the program as a facilitator around when COVID started. So I really didn't get to show my sauce quite yet. And I was telling my dad over the time of quarantine, I was like, I have so many ideas and we have all these drums just sitting in the garage. I got to figure out what we're going to do. And at first we were going to start like a virtual platform, and we were going to try to teach the kids like through, like Zoom. And it was like, you're never going to get like the same time reaction through a video call. So what happened was we eventually started thinking about some of our star students and like inviting them out to our house. We had like maybe 3 to start out, and we were just teaching them some old cadences, and then I kind of had my little input, and then my dad finally got to see me like incorporate my sauce a little bit, and that kind of inspired him to invite more kids out. And I said we should start like a group outside of the schools, because the schools know about us, but what keeps them interested in us? So I felt like if we had like a performing group that always performs, it kind of is like our, I guess, like chicken in the mall that's sampled at the mall. And when they finally see it and they be like, oh, I can get a part of that, it makes kids more inspired to join the group. Now, over the years of me being a facilitator, it's been about 4 years now, I've been really good at recruiting kids, because kids see what we put down on the table, and they kind of eat it up. And what happens is there's kids in my program that actually inspire other kids to join. So we have like a really good recruiting base. And there's probably going to be more that he speaks on. I'm going to let him speak on it first.
Let me ask you,
but yeah.
Dad, did you see this in your son? Were you surprised at all?
I wasn't surprised, but I was really, really proud that he, was able to execute the things that he said he was going to be able to do. There were some rhythms that I felt were a little more advanced than the students in which we work. And he said, I can teach him this. I was like, man, listen, that rhythm's too syncopated for this age group. He said, let me just do what I do. So I said, okay, hey, go ahead. Let's see what you got. And when he showed him these technical rhythms, and I thought, I used to be a college band director. And when I was listening to rhythms, he was trying to give these kids that were, ages like 11 to like 17. I'm like, maybe the 16, 17-year-old kids might get it, but definitely these younger kids. And he just said, let me do what I do.
Something different.
He saw something different.
It's their generation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And hey, he did his thing. And since then, I just kind of stepped back and let him cook, as he says.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so.
That's amazing. What else out there would you like the people to know about what's going on?
Well, there's a few things, and it's kind of like don't want to pull the cat out the bag too quick.
Of course, of course.
So I'm gonna tell you one thing that I can tell you for sure that's been going on for the last 12 years.